actually see anything. I can see, I can see that we're, there. I can see there are some comments coming up. What else can I see?
Yeah.
I see all the things in the office.
Great. Good for you.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you're all here. I just can't see your names right now. Yes, good to see everybody.
Scott, Annie from Detroit. Dana's driving back from Ventura. Great. This is a great show for while you're driving. Keep your eyes on the road. 10 and 2. Eyes on the road.
Or 20 to 4.
Rhonda Talbot says hello from New Zealand. That's a lie. You're not in.
Oh, God, Rhonda. If you were in New Zealand right now, you would be in a hotel in quarantine, courtesy of the government. So look forward to your 2 weeks.
Oh.
At the airport.
In
Auckland.
Laura's wearing her I Am Happy shirt. I can put that on. I have one of those.
You do have one of those.
I do.
I wore the Sex Robot t-shirt one day, I think, for the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I did, and I even acted out being your sex robot. Oh, my God. How many weeks ago was that? God, Varinus, man. It's hard to keep up with all this shit.
Jen stopped knitting for this show, so she really wants... I want you to try and stick the dismount.
Okay.
How's your dry eye? That was one of the questions. How's your dry eye?
Well, I've been lubricating up a storm.
Let me have a look.
So I've got... do you know that we blink 60 times... 60% less working at a computer. No, all of us. Collective we, all of us. Because and it's the same when you're driving or watching a movie, you're busy concentrating with your eyes, and so you don't blink as much. So we're supposed to, every 10 minutes, do some rapid eye blinking. We like to see how it goes. It goes like this.
Yeah, show me your rapid eye blinking. Oh, my God.
So you do some of those, and it's really good for your eyes. But
I've
got... fuck off with that.
I see my wife.
It's like
blinking.
you're a pretend gynecologist, and then you're also you're also doing your own TV show.
What the hell?
I don't know.
What the hell? I've never been to a gynecologist, but I don't think.
I know, but
I don't think they come at you with a thing like this.
Oh well, they like to. Yeah, they do come up with, at you with some things that look not like that, but with the pokey bit.
I did go
sorry
with you.
to be so graphic, ladies know what I mean. That's speculum. Yuck.
I have to say.
No, I was.
All right. Yeah, I don't have to say. Oh, you go ahead.
No. Well, they were asking about my dry eye.
Quite.
And I was
you're quite
trying
right.
to finish it off. Anyway, there are these drops that you can get that have mineral oil in them. They're weird because when you first put them in, your eyesight goes all milky and not very good. But that's because you're supposed to have oil on top of the tears. So I put those in. I've got a little thing I heat up in the microwave, and I put that on, and that's really hot on my eyes, and it gets the meibomian glands going. But I feel good after my treatment, but he's my first one. But of course, sucked in badly. I won't feel good till after I've spent quite a bit more money and had about 3 treatments.
Do they come out? Do they flat out and tell you that? You probably won't feel anything until you've spent about $1,000.
Yeah. Spend about $1,000, lady, and then you'll get some relief from your dry eye.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah, I know. It's all these things, and of course, insurance doesn't, pay for anything, But whatever. I'm used to that one.
People are asking about blue blocker glasses. We had some blue blockers. I've got some reading glasses that are blue blockers. I don't know.
We used to sit there at night wearing our blue blockers while we watched TV.
But now we're back far enough from the TV. And the iPad, when you watch the iPad at night, it's on night mode.
Right, and does my computer have night mode on it? Has it got a...
It does, whether you have it turned on or not.
Yeah, fuck knows.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
We better check it out. Okay, I better stop effing. I've done a couple of those
My sister says she's got a humidifier that she plugs into the computer at work.
Oh,
or when she
help
works.
Her eyes?
A humidifier, does it actually plug into the computer? It's like one of those fans that plugs into the USB port and blows water on you. I doubt that.
Oh yeah, we've got an air purifier upstairs, not a humidifier. One of the things the doctor wants Jake to do is to look at me while I'm sleeping and to have the lights on, sort of trick me. So I have to go to sleep with the lights on, and as I'm a sensitive sleeper, this could be tricky. But he wants to see if my eyes are open just a millimeter, which would look like that. Can you see?
I can't even detect. No, I can't even.
Jake doesn't even know what it is. Okay, put your glasses on. Get your I Spy with my big shitty eyes. Sorry. I don't know why I don't like
really
that thing.
Cursing it up today,
I know, I can't help it.
I'm looking for my...
editing all day and completely...
I'm going to have to get up for a second.
Oh, Jake, you're wearing I'm not supposed to do the reveal.
No, you can say that.
Jake is wearing, and he wasn't wearing this first thing, but he's now got a camouflage kilt on.
No, because I washed my other pants. I washed the pants that I was wearing this morning. This is good news. Here, let me just check and see if you got your eyes open.
Okay,
this is
so when I go like this...
This is a very bright light. So do you think that would wake you up if I did that?
Yeah. See, this is our problem. It's just supposed to be the ambient light that's in the bedroom.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think this is going to be working.
Or a bit more than the ambient light. And the thing is, if I have a nap during the day, I put my eye mask on because I'm not going to be woken up by that bloody sun.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be checking to see if your eyes are open at night. We're just going to have to assume that they're not, or assume that they are. We're going to have to assume
I don't think
one
I've
of those
got.
things.
I mean, I didn't even know that my eyes were that dry. They felt sort of, whatever. But apparently, when you get really old, you can get this stabbing pain in your eyes. Apparently, people who have really chronic dry eye when they're oldies just are in pain from the minute they open their eyes till the end of the day, which sounds pretty gruesome. And they would, did I say this the other day, that they would actually give up 18 months of their lives to live without dry eye. When they did it, they statistically averaged it out on, all of them said, I would give up 5 years of my life if I didn't have to have dry eye. I would give up 6 months. It came up to, they would, collectively, old people would give up 18 months of their lives.
I got a feeling when they come up to you and go, look, you're going to live for another year and a half, but we're pulling the plug on this right now because you had those great wet eyes this whole time. I think you'd change your mind at the end. Sue says that, yes, you do plug it into the USB, the humidifier.
Oh, look at that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I bet, Sue, I bet you'd have some great technical skills that you could add to the show.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had a humidifier going with pink air bubbling around us. Would you like that? Pink, they say, is the most optimistic color.
Is it really?
Yeah. I've been telling you that, at least once a year for the last 20 years.
I don't know why.
Are you not paying attention?
Sometimes your volume level is just a bit. You're so close to me.
I know. You do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Sometimes your farting level is ridiculous.
Yeah, the fart machine in full effect. Keys is asking if it's a sickly cat on my face. No, Keys. This is my Varinus beard. I've grown the Varinus beard. I mean, it's not fully in yet. It's a bit itchy, and it's also gray. It's
so prickly.
I usually shave the beard when I start to look like a homeless guy, but I'm blasting through that now. Are you? What are you having, a sniff?
No, I just was coming in for a really close-up look at you.
Well, here, take a look. Do you want the magic?
Give me I'd like a proper magnifying glass, not some sort of pretend, thingy bob.
All right. So, how do they heal their dry eye? Well, you get some wet. You get to put some wet in your wet eye.
Yeah. You get these special, drops. I like eye drops anyway. I used to have these ones.
You do like eye drops, and now finally you've got doctor prescribed eye drops.
No, I didn't have to get prescription for these.
What do you
I just
think
had
is
to
going
run
to be your
into
reaction
the Walgreens
when you wake up and I'm shining a bright light into your face?
I'll say thank you so much, Jake.
What if I
yell? You obviously really care about moi. Thank you, darling. Thank you. What a lovely husband you are.
I can't remember which comic. I know this is sort of naughty, but stealing another guy's joke, but just for the Varinus podcast. But he had to joke about what an asshole his dad was. That his dad would shine a flashlight in his face while he was asleep and then shout, "Train!"
Oh my God, that sounds like Michael Jackson's dad, but not quite as bad as Michael Jackson's dad. Didn't Michael Jackson's dad used to climb in through the window and, he did some shit. No wonder Michael Jackson ended up being a weirdo.
I don't think we can blame it completely on his dad.
I think if you've got a dad coming through the window in the night and terrorizing you while you're asleep in your bed, that has got to do that is something to do with having a... though it was interesting because there was an article in the New York Times a few months ago.
You don't need me, really. You're just debating yourself. Oh, that would be terrible if your dad came in through the window. That would be the worst. No, well, on the other hand...
But there was a really interesting study, and a friend of ours who's a criminal lawyer read it as well, and we both wanted to know what it was that happened. But they were talking about people who were pedophiles, and it wasn't a case of repetition, that's what happened to you as a child, so then you were like, well, if it was good enough for me to be raped as a kid, now I'm going to rape kids. It wasn't that. It was something happened to you, because obviously, you have this, particular sexual predilection. But they were saying that something happened to you in utero when you were still inside your mother's stomach.
Oh my God, how can they think
so
that they
Matt
know that?
And I
That's
were both
when
like,
we all got the varinus in utero. That's just been a time delay.
No. This is not. This is a behavioral thing. And so that there's, and obviously every stage of your, is developmental. Those people who play Chopin while a baby's in the womb and it comes out with a little, violin. Wah. And just complain.
I don't understand what you're doing again today. This is so confusing to me.
Yeah, I'm so relieved to not be looking at, a screen and editing. So I'm like having, this is me cutting loose for a little bit.
Carl says a group of porcupines is called a prickle. I don't know if that's true.
That's a good name for a bunch
verifiable.
Well, it could be. I could look it up, except I don't have any. Well, I could look it up on there, but on the other screen in my life. Okay. I'm going to calm the what's it down.
Yeah, relax a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to take a load off. I'm going to do some backseat driving. I'm going to wheel it back as far as I can.
Do your upstaging trick where you get so far back.
No, I have to tell you something funny about upstaging.
Okay.
So
by all means.
So the first acting job. No, the second acting job.
And then after this, you're going to take it down a notch.
I don't know. There is something in that ginger tea. It does get me going.
Yeah.
So I was doing. I was at Centrepoint Theatre in Palmerston North, and it was my second.
I remember it well.
Palmerston North.
Centrepoint.
And oh my God, I was doing this terrible musical called Sex Tips for Modern. Was it called Modern Women? And we had to dance around with different contraceptive hats on our heads.
I don't think there is such a thing as a contraceptive hat.
No, we made them.
I mean, that's something that men would wear.
We made them.
Condoms.
If they could get up there, yeah.
Well, condoms ruin the experience a little bit. And
one of us had diaphragms on her head, and the other one had condoms, and the other had who knows what. But anyway, maybe she had IUDs. But I.
All right.
I remember.
Pill? Anyone wearing the pill?
No, there were no rattly, pills going on. But there was, so you would rehearse the play that you were doing and you would perform it at night. So we were doing it at repertory. And then once that play was up and running, then you'd be rehearsing the next one during the day. And the next one had this really big cast. It was a dinner theatre place. Oh my God, people got so drunk and were such assholes. In the second play, I had to...
I'll give anyone $1 if they can remember why she's telling this story.
Upstaging. Okay. So anyway, I remember once coming in to get ready, for my, and then there was one of the guys in the play, and he was in the second cast, and he was by the mirror and practicing things to upstage the rest of us because there were going to be 8 of us on stage. And sure enough, when 8 of us were on stage, there he would be upstage fucking doing something that was completely, and we would actually be with the action. We'd have dialogue and stuff downstage, and
he's up there
up there doing something that he's been practicing in the mirror that he knows looks funny. I just thought that was, like a cheap shot. Anyway, that was my upstaging story, and if any of you enjoyed it, you're welcome.
And that man's name is Brad Pitt.
God,
that would make that a good story.
Oh, you can upstage me anytime you... In fact, why don't I come upstage with you and let's work on some upstaging.
Really do some upstaging.
Yeah, exactly.
Pants down upstaging.
That's the best kind. Can you imagine you're in a play and then suddenly
you turn around and people are having sex in the back like, wait, this isn't a play.
Yeah.
This is not a play.
So the drunk people in the audience would have loved that. They behaved so badly sometimes.
You had drunk people in the audience of a play?
Because it was a dinner theatre, so they would be eating and drinking while they were watching the show. And in this play where that guy was busy upstaging me, I was a real estate agent and I had to come on stage wearing these super tight dresses and high heels, and the crap I was already getting from the guys in the front row.
Just a second. When you say real estate agent, does that mean something different in New Zealand?
No, it was a real estate agent.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a real estate agent, but it was it was a silly play. Anyway, But the tight dresses and the high heels. And then I remember coming off stage at halftime thinking, well, of course we're not going to do the second half because these people are animals. They're horribly behaved. That's it. And everyone else said to me, no, the show goes on, especially Mr. Upstager, because he just was busy in his own world upstaging.
Great story.
Okay, I'm going to wheel back now.
No, don't wheel back. Stay up here. You're required for this part of the show.
Okay.
So today, speaking of taking it down, I had done some research yesterday about, which we didn't get to, who knows why.
Right,
about,
something else happened?
Sloths.
Oh, love sloths.
And we've seen some sloths. Yes, and they're relaxed. They're mellow. Although, here's an interesting thing. People think that sloths, while they move slowly, sleep all the time. But they only sleep all the time in captivity. In captivity, they sleep from 15 to 20 hours a day.
Right, because captivity is boring.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
And in the wild, sloths sleep 8 to 9 hours a day. But they move very slowly, as you know.
Yep.
They can't crawl very fast. There's two kinds of sloths. There's two-toed and three-toed sloths. But they're really, that's their fingers. They're two-finger and three-finger sloths.
So they're either like this or they're just like that.
Yes, but they all have 3 toes on each foot. It's the front.
That just has the
front
two.
paws that have the 2 or the 1.
Or if you're lucky, you've got the 3.
Isn't that a good story?
It's great. I'm loving it. And how do we like me acting it out? 3 toes, 2 toes.
Don't be so needy.
I'm not being needy.
Of course.
Did you say needy?
Needy. Don't be so grumpy.
Grumpy?
Yeah.
I think I'm being funny.
Yeah, I know. 10,000 years ago, there was sloths roamed the earth the size of elephants. Huge elephant-sized sloths.
Giant sloths.
Can you imagine it? And most modern sloths are eating vegetarian, their leaves or bark or some kind of vegetation. Vegetation.
But did the great big ones, did anyone ever eat meat? Were they ever omnivores?
Well, from time to time, some of our modern sloths some of them will eat insects or even birds on occasion. But considering how fast they move, they really have to take these birds by surprise.
Yeah, the bird has to be asleep.
Sloths have an extra vertebrae in their neck so that they can rotate their head 270 degrees. So not all the way around, but close enough to all the way around.
Almost Linda Blair.
To make you a little pukey.
Was it Linda
Blair? Like if you did it.
You did it in Carrie?
Yeah, it would be like if you could rotate your head all the way around to look over here.
Yeah.
But one way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
one way. That would be great. If I didn't have to bother turning the other way, if I could just go wah.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great?
It'd be handy for driving, except I suppose while your head is turned you're not seeing what's in the front.
So
that's quite important.
Yeah, no, sloths would be terrible drivers, I'm pretty sure. I mean, considering how fast, when they're crawling on the ground, they move about a foot a minute. And that's slow.
Yeah, I don't know if you could even call that crawling.
Yeah, I mean, can you think of it would take you a half hour to get from here back to the kitchen?
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be making many trips out of the house.
So, here's my thing that maybe you didn't know. You know, sloths. You're doing that upstaging. I'm not falling for it. Here's something maybe you didn't know. Sloths are very good swimmers. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Very good swimmers. Would you like to guess how long they can hold their breath? It's a long time.
3 minutes.
No, higher.
13 minutes.
40 minutes.
What the?
Yeah.
Wow, what kind of lungs do they have?
I got a feeling that some of these sloths are having a little fish for dinner. Though I didn't mention that. But if you're holding your breath for 40 minutes, what are you doing down there?
Right.
That's what the
takes
sloth mother said to this teenage
long
sloth.
To get down, then it takes so long if you're a sloth. So if they wanted to get in the water, they had to be able to hold their breath, because if they only go a foot a minute, but I suppose the thing is if you're in the water, then you're just falling.
Ask me what's on the...
swimming up. Maybe just swimming up. It goes
so we're 2 sloths.
Slowly.
We're 2 sloths.
Yeah, I've got 3
now.
toes. You've only got 2 toes.
Ask me what's on the bottom of this pond.
What's on the bottom of this pond?
I'll be right back. And then I swim down to the bottom. 40 minutes later, I'm back. Mud. That's a good little play. We didn't even have a rehearsal for that.
No, we did not. Yeah. And I went with it.
Yeah. So they're covered with algae a lot of times, sloths. You remember they have green, their
they have that
green
green
when we
hue,
saw them.
Yeah.
We saw them way up in trees. We had to have a special kind of telescope thing to see the sloth.
Yeah, you could use your special.
They're covered in this
spy.
moss because they live in the jungle where it's humid and quite moist. They don't need a humidifier that you plug into your computer. And so they're covered in moss, and the moss serves as camouflage because they're in the canopy of the forest, which is green. Mm-hmm. Just helping you.
You really, I love how you're all, because I never would have worked it out that why it should be green in algae.
Well, I'm not. Sometimes the way you look at me, I get the impression that either you just don't understand or you're thinking about something completely different, which is, and probably they're both true. But yeah,
no, I always understand. I'm always following.
They're covered with moss, or algae, which kind of serves as camouflage, but also it provides nutrients to their skin. It's like the moss is a skin moisturizer. Can you imagine? Like, I come in the house and I'm all covered with some kind of scummy moss, and you go to wipe it off, and I go, no,
leave it on.
That's like our daughter with her skin treatment.
Oh my God, yeah, she loves the clay mask.
With.
Yeah, and we've had bananas. She's done bananas on her face. I liked the Mother's Day when she did the avocado facial for me, and I had avocado all over my face.
Yeah,
that felt good.
Tom Cruise can hold his breath for 6.5 minutes. Fun fact. That is a fun fact. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with. Excuse me. I hope I didn't varinus your elbow. I coughed into your elbow. You're not supposed to do that.
No. But it's because it's you. It's fine with me.
Let me tell you something about the varinus. This is a fact that's undeniably true. You cannot get it from someone who does not have it.
And we're pretty sure still that you do not have it.
Still.
Right? Yeah.
I think.
We're pretty sure. Even though, this is like a little slothy, you could get some algae on that.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that could be a nice colour.
Yeah, Keys had some kind of.
A green.
Insulting thing to say about my beard.
Yeah.
It hasn't fully come in yet, Keys.
It has not fully come in yet, Keys.
Yeah.
It's going to be great
Give
when
it
fully comes in.
Another couple weeks, man. I'm going to look like...
A couple of weeks.
Homeless Father Christmas. I wish I could remember what I was going to say. Oh, Tom Cruise holds his breath for 6.5 minutes. I don't know if you're familiar. Are you familiar with Wim Hof? Have you heard of Wim Hof?
Wim Hof. When I look at you like I don't know this time.
Know.
Yeah, this time I don't know.
He's a Dutchman who developed these breathing exercises to sort of fight depression, but he claims that they also increase your immune system. And he's got scientific evidence to prove that. But he can hold his breath for minutes. He does this kind of planned breathing. You have to look up Wim Hof breathing, but you do 30 deep breaths, then you blow, exhale completely, hold your breath until you absolutely feel like you have to inhale. Then you get a full inhale, then you hold your breath a little bit longer, and then you repeat that cycle. And after a couple cycles, you're able to hold your breath. I mean, I was able to hold my breath for, 2.5 minutes. The second cycle, the first time I tried it. So I don't know how long it would take me to get up to how long Tom Cruise can hold his breath. I don't know what he's holding his breath for. To
show off.
To show off?
Well, is he a big wave surfer? Or does he need it for Mission Impossible? Maybe he needs it for one of his
stunts. Is Tom Cruise a big wave surfer?
I don't think so.
Survey says...
That's one of the things you need to better hold your breath for minutes and minutes at a time. Does he need to do it when he's on a Mission Impossible set in between takes? I don't know. Why does he do it?
Maybe it's a bar trick. He gets in a contest with the other actors to see who can hold their breath the longest, and he always wins. And then he gets up on the couch and jumps up and down. I'm so excited! I won the breath hold contest! I won the breath hold contest! That was a really terrible Tom Cruise impression.
Yeah.
So today I've done the sloth, and I've done Tom Cruise.
Okay, I've done upstaging, and I've done why pedophiles are pedophiles. Something to do with what happens to them in utero, but we're not sure exactly what, because even though it was a really interesting article, and it was quite a big article, it did not say exactly what it was that happened. So I told you about my experiences at Centrepoint Theatre, the dining theatre, the contraception hats that we had to wear. We had to sing songs about having oral sex.
Circular breathing. Oh, yeah, Jen is saying Cruise does not use circular breathing. He did it for a movie. he has a naturally low heart rate and it was trained by a Navy SEAL. That's a kind of Tom Cruise myth crap.
How low is his heart rate is what I want to know.
Oh, I bet he claims it's in the 40s or some crap like that. What do you think your heart rate is?
Well, my heart rate is always...
That would be about the bot. That's when we really lose audiences, when you start counting your heart rate.
Yeah.
Let's not even
I'm not going to
talk
count
about
it, but mine's around 50. So I've got a pretty slow heart rate, and then if I get really fit... yes, I can get to like a marathon lady heartbeat if I'm super fit.
Ramon feels my Tom Cruise impression was better than his acting, which is undeniably that's a joke, Ramon. But I enjoy Tom Cruise. I have to say, look, as much as people like to make fun of him, I've enjoyed him, and I like those Mission Impossible movies. I've enjoyed him in a lot of them. That Time, the Time movie, what's it called, where it keeps repeating? He's like a super soldier, and he gets stuck in this time loop. I really enjoyed that one.
I liked him when he was the asshole, kind of like man coach in that movie where frogs came out of the sky. Was it Paul Thomas Anderson? Yeah, and it wasn't the first one, it was his second one.
We're the opposite of good hosts because we don't really know the facts.
No, but we can both say what the movie, but he was really funny in that, I thought. But he was very anti-women, his character, I remember. But what was...
Well, usually that comes from somebody who's been burned by...
There's an H in the title, I know. I don't have my little box of
I'm using my phone to do the show right now, so if you brought your phone, you could look that up.
I did not bring my phone.
Someone undoubtedly is
someone's going to help us out. Rhonda, come on, you're the movie lady.
Oh, also, Tom Cruise is a fraudster, corrupt Scientologist freak. Well, Jen, that's your opinion.
Yeah. No, come on. Those thetans, those little things that look like M&Ms on your skin that you pay all that money and get to that high level of Scientology to get rid of.
They would look like...
Those are real.
They would look like M&Ms if you could see them, but you can't see them. But that's what they would look like.
Yeah, that's what they would look like.
If you could see them.
Yeah, and when you're really low on the totem pole, you have a lot of those thetans on you. But once you've given Scientology a lot of your money and allowed them to get in there and wash your brain very, very many times and given them unlimited access to your credit card, then miraculously thetans just start to just drip off you. Drip.
You've had a fun go at Tom Cruise, but let me just scoreboard.
No, I'm talking about Scientologists.
Let me just scoreboard this for you right now. Yeah. Tom Cruise believes in Scientology. And he was for a time the highest paid movie star in the world and still continues to make top box office grossing movies. You and I do not believe in Scientology, and we're doing a free Facebook Live show at 3 o'clock every weekday during Varinus time. What do you think Tom Cruise is doing during a Varinus time?
Not something as fun as this.
Oh, he's looking at pictures of prospective girlfriends that are being sent to him by L. Ron Hubbard telepathically from wherever L. Ron Hubbard is. L. Ron Hubbard's a robot in outer space on another planet. I hope
Robert Downey Jr. is still the highest paid actor, because when I read that a few years ago, I thought, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jen, you saw him on the Graham Norton show last night. I like the Graham Norton show. I can say I do like that.
You do?
I don't know if Graham still has a beard, but he's got a beard.
Sometimes when we watched that in New Zealand, you were not so into it.
I can't say that. I can't remember that. I like Graham Norton. I like the what's the part where he takes people from the audience and they start some monologue and he decides when he pulls the ripcord they just go flying out the back of the chair.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, the chair is pretty funny. I wish we had that
technology here.
Oh, for when I lean back in my chair and you could just go, I've had
show's over.
Yeah, that's it. We could both eject. We could both kind of, what about if we just
spontaneous ejection.
Fall back before the show's over?
Sloths hang upside down 90% of the time. 90% of the time, sloths are hanging up by their hands. That's sort of upside down, but it's not technically. It's not upside down from us, but it'd be like hanging from their arms and legs that way. And the reason that they can do that is that their organs are attached to their rib cage. See, for us, if we were on our backs all the time,
the gravity would be pulling our organs down into the back of our back.
Yeah, we couldn't do it. Sloths can do it because their lungs are attached to their ribcage. And this is an interesting Varinus tip. A lot of times before they put you on the ventilator, if you're having trouble breathing in Varinus, they'll put you on your stomach.
Upside down.
Yeah, to take the pressure off your lungs, to make it easier to breathe. So so sloths have something to teach us about Varinus.
About our lung.
Which is, and let me just sum it right up again. If your organs are not attached to your rib cage, and that's all human beings, I shouldn't say all,
There'll be
almost
someone.
all human beings, and you're having trouble breathing, get on your stomach because it's going to be easier. There you go.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was some pulmonary insight for you people, for all of us. You're a
The
bit
red
coffee.
chair. Graham does still have a beard, and it's the red chair.
Yeah, the red chair. And then he sometimes lets his guests decide when the person goes wah and, flies off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Graham. We saw a pretty funny Graham Norton. Well, we've seen a few. I've got one actually on my phone because I thought it was pretty funny.
Have we seen the Wonder Boys from way back? Michael Douglas, Tobey Maguire. I did see that, but I don't remember it. I don't remember it so well now. Katie Holmes, Rip Torn, and Robert Downey Jr. It's an amazing film. Katie Holmes, one of Tom Cruise's ex-wives.
Yeah, one of Tom Cruise's ex-wives.
He's only had, is it 2? No, 3.
Yeah, because there was
Mamie
one before.
Rogers.
Yeah, Nicole.
Nicole Kidman. And
Katie
Holmes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. That was sort of a bit of an
weird
Australian.
Yeah, one of his wives was Australian. But let's get off Tom Cruise. That's enough for Tom, I think. He doesn't need any more airtime than that. What about, we're watching the Michael Jordan Last Dance right now. And then we watched the funny thing on John Oliver last night about how much people are missing sports.
Yeah.
I'm not in that category. I mean, I love basketball, but I really love Michael Jordan. So to get to sort of watch to see, him replays of things that I've, him playing, doing before.
Here's a fun fact about Michael Jordan.
I'm enjoying that. Yeah. He's got that. What's that up with his index finger? There's something. Maybe that's from years of playing basketball because I noticed Scottie Pippen has it a little bit as well. Their index fingers on both hands is slightly.
Well, I think it's interesting.
looking.
Sometimes people hold their hands differently. Athletes do. Oh, geez, I had 2 show and tells that I'm not going to have time for today. Here's a fun fact. Fun fact about Michael Jordan. He has one stomach. Sloths have multiple compartments to their stomachs.
What a segue. What a segue. What an end to the show.
Bringing it home.
Yeah, bringing it home. Beautiful.
If you've ever been to one of my shows,
they're
a lot like that. Like something you didn't think was going to happen happens, and then it sort of makes sense, but then, and then you get an I Am Happy t-shirt.
Yeah, but it has weaved itself. It does weave itself the whole way through your show. It doesn't just pop out at the end. Talking of people who have no control over their stomachs.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what a sloth sounds like.
Yeah.
After a big meal at Sizzler.
Okay, so what do we?
So we've got. It's the end of the show. It was great.
Soup Plantation. That's what happens to sloths out the Soup Plantation.
Jen is really pushing us hard to watch Documentary Now. We need to watch Grey Garden's episode of Documentary Now. We've got to do it.
I've seen the documentary of Grey Gardens.
No, it's a thing called Documentary Now. It's on net. I don't have time to explain this to you.
But I thought they actually did a reenactment of Grey Gardens.
Yes,
is that what it is?
No.
No, it's okay. It's something different. All right. I'll let him. He can explain it to me.
Let me explain it to you
now. No, not now. Not now. After the show, Jake. Come on.
Okay, so
let's not waste precious time.
This is an instance where you don't understand.
Yeah, and I admit it. Yeah. I had a couple of guesses. They weren't right. So,
No further
stopping.
No further questions, Your Honor. No further questions.
Okay, all right. You're going to give me a question?
So, yes, I'd like to ask you a question from the book of questions.
I'm going to do some neck rolling. I'm going to get ready.
I'm just going to ask you the first...
I'm going to put on some special glasses for this one.
Okay.
I've got these.
Great.
Do the lights go on them still? Oh, they do.
Oh,
Look.
they do.
Okay, I've got my special glasses
Which
on.
one do you like? The
all right.
sheep or the cow
oh, my
or the
God.
pony?
I don't know if these are good for me or not. Horse.
Okay, horse.
Okay. All right, horse.
You ready for your question?
Okay, I'm ready for my question.
It's the first question in the book. Mm-hmm. For a person you love deeply, would you be willing to move to a distant country knowing there would be little chance of seeing your friends or family again? I cannot believe this is the first question.
Wow.
Fucking did it. You did it.
I would go live in Norway.
No, you've come to America
yes,
and you don't get to see
I know. And now I want to go back and live in New Zealand, but you don't want to go and live in New Zealand because you would be leaving your friends and family.
Well, I would be leaving my friends and family. My support group here is available around the world.
Yeah, we can Zoom them. Now we know. We have the technology. We know it works. We can Zoom them. So you'll be all right.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for watching Documentary Now, Episode 1, Season 1, the Grey Gardens episode.
Promise we'll do it.
Watch it tonight.
Oh, we have to watch it tonight?
Well, we'll discuss it tomorrow on Friday's show.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I do want
How
to
would that
see.
be?
I want to see quite a lot of Michael Jordan tonight, though.
Remember
that photograph of
it's
him?
It's going to be a late
arms?
night, but luckily you've got your rave glasses on.
Like that. Remember that beautiful photograph? And I remember walking into an office once, and it was just his arms like that. And I think it was from behind. And I think it was before I had knew who he was. And I was
Who
like,
is that
who is
handsome black man?
Yeah, with that
All right.
fantastic wingspan.
Thank you for watching the show. We're going a little bit
that.
long today because we were on sloth time. We'll see you. We'll see
Speak
you tomorrow.
for
Thanks for
thyself.
watching.
I think I came in with high energy.
Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later.
What he says.
Yep.